We as a society have to stop with our heads in the sand and stop saying this is not like Nazi Germany, because it is. When Adolf Hitler came to power, his whole platform was hate and racism. Blame the Jews for your life. Blame the Jews. And when this child molester that wears orange makeup ran for office a second time, that's exactly what he ran on. Blame the brown people. Blame the brown people. Blame the brown people coming from Mexico. The people picking your avocados, building your houses, cleaning your hotel rooms. Good, hardworking Americans. Blame them for your shitty life. Not you. Not you living in a trailer, inbreeding with your sister. Oh no, not you with high crime, with high poverty, low education. Oh no, it's not your fault that you've been this way for decades.
Right. Exactly. Racism has always hurt white America the most. If y'all don't know, just look at it. Like, the nepotism, the whole hierarchy of it, like the whole how it's ran, is just rewarding people because they white. That has that has really caught up with this country. Yeah, that has really caught up with this country. Like, just rewarding people because of based off of how they look. And that's the era that this country want to go back to. I'm gonna let Paul Lance. I'm gonna add this video in the description, and also like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I'm trying to get my channel monetized before I go back to my day job, which is like a week and a half from now. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's the brown people coming from Mexico. Oh, if your pilot's black, are you sure that they're qualified? I mean, are you really sure? Are you really sure that Vice President Harris is black? Are you really sure that Obama was born here? Oh, look at that one daycare in. Oh, look at the Somalians in Minnesota. Are you sure they're not stealing? I'm not saying they are. I'm just asking the question.
Right.
And on and on and on. The same thing with Lincoln Riley. Out of 41,000 school deaths. Oh, look, it was a brown person from Mexico. We have to pass bills and we have to be the victim. Screw the other 41,000. There's nothing we can do about all of the white men that commits the gun violence, but we have to go after them. Undocumented immigrant. That's the one we have to go after. And if we're not going to go after non-white people, we're going to go after, oh, look, there was a transgender shooting. Let's go after the less than 1%. But the white people, they get a pass.
Mm-hmm.
January 6th, that was domestic terrorism. But they're white. Give them a pass. Oh, let's take slavery out of the Smithsonian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's put Robert E. Lee back up, the guy that fought for slavery. Let's give the white soldiers that murdered the Lakota on Wounded Knee, the 250. Let's have Pete Hegseth, the alcoholic that can't even keep a schlong in his pants, that's drunk half the time. Yeah, let's give them medals because they were heroes that murdered innocent women and children that are buried in the dirt. Very fine people on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sick and tired of the Democrats. Wherever they found this consultant, this guy, maybe it was eBay or Temu, affordability. Oh, that's horrible what happened in Minnesota, that young lady. Yeah, but it's affordability. He ran on affordability. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He ran on racism. He ran on white supremacy. He ran on scaring white people that they're going to be in the minority.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the bullshit.
Stop the bullshit. I agree.
And for all of you that keep defending the Democrats, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
they're complicit in this bullshit.
They are. Mm-hmm.
Look at what happened to George Floyd. The Republican Party literally has their knee on the neck of democracy and non-white people in this country right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the Democrats are sitting by saying, oh, it's an issue of affordability. It's not his knee. That's not what he ran on. It's affordability. That's what the Democrats are doing.
Yeah. I agree.
And they're going to fund ICE again because they're playing politics. We want to be more moderate. They're both screwing us.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost a guy that I thought was a friend. And I had the audacity to criticize Tim Walz. Oh, the audacity. Because Paul, people were mean to his son. You don't think black people get treated that way every goddamn day?
Every
Since
day.
1619, black people are threatened, called
Mm-hmm.
the N-word, racially profiled. Their families are in fucking trees. And this person on the left, this is why we're not making progress. Because he wants to cancel a friendship because I dared criticize Tim Walz. Should Jasmine Crockett leave Congress? Should Michael Fanone leave his job? Should Harry Dunn stop because he's getting threats? No. Whitmer had literally an assassination attempt. She didn't run away. She wasn't a coward. Tim Walz is running away from the fight. And he's doing what's best for himself. He's going back into his white privilege. And there are too many people that keep simping for the Democrats. Donald Trump ran on racism. And we keep ignoring it. It was never about the price of eggs. And until we admit that, I'm going to keep having this damn conversation. Because it doesn't matter if the Democrats win. And too many of you in this country think that, oh, the Democrats will save us. They'll slow the bleeding. No, what you're saying is, my whiteness has never been offended in my entire miserable life.
Yeah.
This is really bad. I hope that the Democrats will stop the bad stuff so I don't have to watch it on TV and say, oh, what can I do? Because you're still not willing to have that conversation and actually fix the problem of white supremacy in this United States of America. That's what the Grand Wizard, Donald Trump, ran on. Hell, his parents were part of the KKK. Elon Musk's grandparents were in the same thing up in Canada. Let's stop it, okay? This is Nazi Germany. We have concentration camps. People are being racially profiled. We've had over 200 U.S. citizens be arrested because they don't look white. They're detaining people that don't have their papers. What if a police officer, an ICE agent, pulled me over? And I give him my driver's license. Do I have the right to be arrested? Because based on what you're saying, hey, everybody should prove they're a citizen. Am I supposed to walk around with my birth certificate? No. You know why? Because I'm white. I'll never get pulled over. That's the problem. That's what he ran on. And that's the original sin that this country keeps ignoring. And if y'all don't wake up, we will be Nazi Germany. We just don't have the gas chambers yet.
We worse than Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany based a lot of their ideology on this country. We're the actual birthplace of what Nazi Germany ended up being. They just took it a step further because they could. Right? Listen here. We got 3 more years of this guy being in office. I personally, I don't think people like me will even be able to do what I'm doing right now in the next 3 more years. I really don't. I believe this type of content will be flagged and people like me will be arrested. That's why this right here doing this should be the beginning. Well, this is why I'm doing this. This is purposeful stuff that I'm doing. The kind of content that is purposeful. I don't. This is just the beginning of what I want to do. I really want to connect with with other like-minded people, and that's about all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to. Because I see where this country is going. This country is going to a place that it's always been. It's just about to be more pronounced. The hate that this country has had, it has always been there. It's just now, like what Paul is saying, now all the hate, the people that have that hate, they are comfortable letting it out. And so that's why I say it's not gonna get it's gonna get worse. So yeah, let's let Paul continue.
But we have the concentration camps, and women have lost their pregnancies. People have lost their lives from mistreatment. They get 1 shower a week, one meal a day. They're treated like absolute animals. But hey, I'd hate for you to be uncomfortable. You better wake up, America. This is the original sin. The Democrats are not going to.
And that's why I kind of disagree with Paul. Like, wake up. We been this. And if you ask Black America, the reason why I titled this the way that I did is because the Jewish people love Germany, right? Rest in heaven to all of them people that lost their lives there. You know, 6 million they say all together. All of them wasn't from Germany. A lot of them was from Poland. A lot of them was from different countries, but altogether 6 million Jewish people lost their lives, right? Murdered. Um, Man, the worst kind of way, right? They were citizens of those countries, and it start. I'm going to read from this poem. I'm gonna read from this poem. It's a famous poem by Martin No Nomler. Let me find it. Niemoller. 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 Okay. And I'll add the link to this in the description so y'all can read this too. It says, first, first they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. So, yeah, the communists, the socialists, trade unionists, all of them represent like the Mexicans, the Somalians, the certain people that they say not from this country, right? The Haitians, the Jewish people. It was a certain group. That was a certain specific, real group of people, right? That represent us in America. Now they might try to throw them in there too, but I doubt it. They have been fully entrenched into American, quote unquote, American culture, right? A lot of them are so Americanized you wouldn't even know. Either way, we don't have that luxury of being Americanized. The Star of David is our skin. This is something. When you arm with facts about who you really are, this is something that you very proud of. Like the fact that we are the first human beings on Earth. Everybody came from Africa originally. But I think that's part of why the hate that we get right now, because we know facts about ourselves we never knew. You know, never knew. I mean, I think we inherently knew it, like within our spirit. Simply because of how we interact with other human beings. Like we're not like we pretty much we settled on every land in the world first. So we're just the original people that did everything first, right? So it's no need to be feeling insecure and want to war with any other race, especially based on how they look. Never. And I think, like I said, I think that historically we have been extra pleasant to other races. I mean, we know that if we mix in with them, they're gonna become black. We know that just inherently. That's why I said I think our ancestors inherently knew, because we just could look at any other race of people and know, Oh, I can love you because I'll turn you if if I get into a relationship with the women, they're gonna be me. So yeah, this skin is the Star of David. You know what I'm saying? That's what it represents. We don't and that's another thing. Like a lot of the ideology in Nazi Germany, they learned it from America. So the way that they treated the Nazi Jews was things they learned from America. Like the only thing they had to invent, they had to put that Star of David on them because you couldn't just look at any Jewish person and just know that they Jewish. Not all of them. You could they didn't, they a lot of them look white, you know what I'm saying? So they had to distinctly, mark them. You know what I mean? But here in America or where anywhere in the world, like you see melanin, it is what it is. You know what melanin is. So this chemical that's within, people that originate from Africa, um, originally, and I think if you know who you are, you proud of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of our people in this country who don't know who they are. So they end up being the stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? That these people wanna. But yeah, let's continue with this video. It's only like a minute, no, 27 or 22 seconds left.
To fix this problem, we will not vote our way out of this until white people have uncomfortable conversations with their friends and family, and you're worried and you're willing to break off those friendships and you're willing to break off those relationships. Because if you want to be friends with the racist more than you want to have that conversation, then you're complicit in what's happening. Have a white day.
Wow. Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm gonna add that the link to that video in my description so y'all go over there and check out Paul Lance. And he 100% right. I always heard these different sayings like don't speak about race, religion, or politics at work, right? And that's what I speak about the most when I'm at work. Not with just any and everybody, but with certain people, like I really don't talk too much. But if I'm talking, race, religion, or politics is gonna be a part of. You see, that's kind of like how this country got to where it got to by not discussing things and figuring things out. But the reason why a lot of, especially Americans, say that is because they want to keep things the illusion of things being American and perfect. They want to keep that illusion. They want to believe a lie. So that's pretty much the whole premise of this whole country. The premise of America is foundation. Its foundation, as far as like reading history, is based on a lie. 100% lie. Everything about it. And up to now, we have the internet. We can do our own research. Now, what they're doing, they are actively trying to change the narrative everywhere you look. The white flight that happened, what post the civil rights movement, that has actually helped keep white America insulated to where they can, pretend that they're in an all white, country, in an all white, that's why a lot of what's going on now and really post Obama being elected, because I think that was the first time white America was forced to even acknowledge a black person. That's why I think Obama was so life changing for a lot of mostly white America for the most part. Like to have to acknowledge a black person every day for 8 years, like you couldn't ostracize them, you couldn't ignore them away. I believe that was so traumatizing to most of white America, especially racist white. I don't think a lot of white people in America knew that they was racist until Obama got in the office. I don't think they realized it because they have been, in this sanitized white America for at least a whole generation up until then. And I think that's when a lot of white Americans started to say, like, damn, maybe I am, and started to have to force to even grapple with the race question. A lot of white people, I don't think in America even thought of race. Period. Like, never thought of it one way or another. They maybe heard about it, seen it on the internet. As the internet, the phone, the smartphone was fairly new when Obama got elected. So, and it's still like that. And that's why I think a lot of the white on white crime is happening in white America, because a lot of people, it's a storm. Like, they are conflicted, with reality versus that sanitized version that they were fed, and it's like they start to like explore. Well, it's I know it started way before Obama, because like even in my generation, I remember going to all white suburbs because a couple of my friends lived out there at the time, and they were more obsessed with gangster rap than we were in the hood. Like, in the hood, we didn't listen to gangster rap all the time. Or in my neighborhood, I couldn't really call it a hood. I grew up in kind of like a mixture of the hood and the suburbs. That's still where my parents' house is now. Like, I own a house now, but it wasn't quite suburban, and it wasn't quite hood. It was like a perfect balance. But like where I grew up at, I just remember we didn't listen to gangster rap all the time. We had a healthy palette of Tribe Called Quest, the native tongues, down south, just like reality, Ghetto Boys, 8 Ball MJG, shoot. Of course, our Midwest, MC Breed, he was actually from my city, rest in heaven to Breed. And, we listen to NWA. Sometimes we even listen to Florida bass booty music, so we wasn't just all listening to gangster rap all day. But I remember going out to the suburbs out in this city called Sorts Creek, where my best friend lived at, and all his friends out there, they was white. So we get together. All they want to listen to is NWA. Whatever gangster rap was out. Ice Cube, Eazy-E. And I think it's because back then they would never say the N-word, but they wanted to. And I know they said it when I left. That's the one thing I do know. They was infatuated with that N-word. They were. And that's why I think they loved gangster rap. But moving forward, the point, like from that era, being in a sanitized all white community, a lot of them, and then meeting a couple black people like me and my best friend at the time, I think started to open their eyes like, damn, what? And of course the music in my generation was like the internet now. The music brought a different reality, especially to white America. So hip hop in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, with the gangster rap and the conscious, any kind of rap. It gave white America like some insight in that, that audio, it hit a lot different than a movie did, because you knew a movie was fake, so you listening to this gangster rap and you like, dang, they like, damn, this gotta be real, even though most of that wasn't real, we come to find out. But, either way, back then, nobody knew. So we all kind of believed the gangster raps. We believed that they was doing what they was rapping about, to some degree. So yeah, like, but, you thinking like you're going to turn that CD off, and go back to your regularly scheduled program, which that's what most of my generation did. In white America, they turned the music off at a certain time, and Oh, okay. I just got out my little sanitized city for an hour or so. Listen to see what black people doing. And oh, I'm not thinking about black people. They turn their rock and roll back on. So um, yeah, that was my upbringing, and that was that generations. But like I said, post '08, post what I'm saying, Obama, smartphone, all of those different things at that time. For most of white America, that was the first time like 24/7. They couldn't turn it off. It's a black man in the White House. Um, that I think was the beginning. So since then and up until now, what we're dealing with, of course, because Trump is in office, and the reason he even got in office is because Obama got in office. The hate that most of his supporters had for Obama ushered Trump in. So that's what we're still dealing with. And yeah, I think that hate, because even in my generation, it was a lot of hate. Nobody had a reason to talk about it. They didn't have no forum to share their hate. They just, lived and died hateful. Nobody really knew it unless they was given opportunity to, actively hate. Or you had KKK here in Michigan. You have a big population of the white community are a part of these anti-black, you know, they it's a lot of, we starting to hear more about them nowadays because of the internet, but they've been here. They've been here for many generations. KKK, a bunch of skinheads, they all over, especially on this side of Michigan. Well, I'm willing to bet on the west side too, where Grand Rapids is at. I'm willing to bet I just think it's more on the east side of Michigan that hide. I think on the west side they probably more outward, but they don't have nobody there really. It's more blacks on the east side of Michigan than on the west side. So, but either way, just getting back to my point. So here in America, we are that citizen that the hateful people that's running this country now, and a lot of the citizens want to just get us deported. And you already know, if you've been paying attention, they love to see us getting murdered. They love to see us losing our lives. Been like that since the lynching days and postcards and the picnics, them watching black people hang from trees. So, they just would love to see us exterminated. I just truly believe that. But look here, I'll be back with more in a real short amount of time. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll be back. Smarling speaks live, yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the real survive. Yeah, it's truth over comfort, I don't pick no side. If it shake the room a little, let the truth collide. Cause it's Marlon speaks live, no script, no disguise. I don't sell no lies, just to monetize. Cause the past still breathing and it never dies. Yeah, it's Marlon speaks live, now the truth will rise. Yo, it's Marlon speaks live, yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the